Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hi, this is Linda Thompson, your host for The Author Show. The subject of the relationship between mothers and daughters can be one fraught with drama and mistrust. On the other hand, it can be a sacred bond of strength passing from one generation to the next, and most of all, one of love. Our book is called A Dream Come True by author Jeryn Alise Turner, and she joins us today to talk about these important relationships and why she's written about them. Jeryn, welcome to The Author Show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Jeryn, will you give us a quick overview of A Dream Come True?
Yes, I would love to. As you mentioned, it is a story about mothers and daughters. There is a mom and a daughter who take a trip to Peru to celebrate the mother's birthday, and while in the Sacred Valley, end up having a very detailed conversation about life, and the daughter is looking to understand more about her mother and share with her mother things that she has gone through. I chose Peru because it's a wonderful country, and it really is the perfect setting for this mother and daughter to deepen their relationship and to develop a stronger bond.
Have you traveled to Peru, and is that why you chose it?
Yes, I went to Peru in February of 2014 and 2 weeks there. And although the story, A Dream Come True, is fiction, I can say that I went to Peru with my mother.
Did you write your book with any particular type of reader in mind?
I didn't write it with a particular type of reader in mind, but I have been fortunate enough to have a lot of great role models and mentors in my life, and I've been a mentor to many young women. So as I wrote that book, it really was to summarize a lot of the key advice I've received and showcase the wisdom and timeless advice that can be passed along. Anyone can read A Dream Come True because it's a story of self-discovery, and that applies to any person, any age. So not really a target market in mind, but I think the influences of such strong women in my life really motivated me to write the book.
As you mentioned, your book is listed in fiction, yet it almost reads as a memoir. Did you plan it that way?
I didn't. I think it's interesting when you ask me the question of have I been to Peru, and since I have, many people assume it's a story of my life, it's a memoir. I didn't plan it that way, but I loved Peru and thought that it's a country that everyone should go and visit, and there's a spiritual nature to the country itself that I really wanted to highlight in the book.
Is there any other author you feel may have influenced your writing style?
Yes. I started reading Maya Angelou when I was in high school, and I've read many of her books. And because our styles are similar in terms of being narrative and very descriptive, I do see a lot of parallels with our writing style. She also is a huge source of inspiration for me. So if I had to pick one author, I would definitely say Maya Angelou.
Is your relationship with your own mother what served as the inspiration for A Dream Come True?
It did. Part of it was the relationship that I have with her. I also took a lot of the information that my friends have shared with me about their relationships with their mother. There definitely is a lot of merit within the book because it's coming from real-life experiences and examples. So not everything in A Dream Come True is representative of the relationship I have with my mother, but there are a lot of pieces that I took from our conversations and put that in the book. She's a very, very wise woman, has always been in education, and I think she comes from that place in terms of how she raised both myself and my sister and my brother. And so I definitely used a lot of what she has shared with us over the years as a platform for the book.
I have to believe that your characters are based on your mother and yourself, but are there other characters that are based on real people as well?
So the book is really about the mother and daughter characters. So when you read the book, those two are the most prominent characters. There are some people that travel along with them into Peru, and there's also like the travel guides and things of that nature. And so those are based on a summary of the people that I did meet in the wonderful country.
Jeryn, what would you say is the most important message you want to share with readers of your book?
The most important message that I hope people get when they read the book is really that as you're interacting with anyone, your mother, anyone that you're in a relationship with, that there are universal truths that are based on those relationships, one of honesty and trust, vulnerability, and I hope that the readers take that away when they read the book. It definitely is a journey that a mother and daughter took, but I think there's some universal things that can be applied in all relationships, and I think the most fundamental and important relationship one can have is with themselves. When I wrote the book, it was a journey of self-discovery even for myself. And as I wrote down a lot of the pieces of advice, I was hoping that as a reader reads this, they enjoy the narrative and they enjoy the story, but that they also have many aha moments where they almost reflect and think about life and relationships in a different way.
Your book cover looks so peaceful. Is that an actual photo of somewhere in Peru?
I'm so glad you asked that question. And yes, it is. It is based on a picture that I took in Peru. There's some things that the graphic designers added, such as, I don't know if you can tell, but in the top right-hand area, there's some stars and things of that nature. But yes, it's based on an actual picture that I took in Peru.
What makes A Dream Come True stand out in the crowd?
What makes it stand out in the crowd is that it's written fictionally, and it's a narrative, and it's a novel, and that it stands out because there's a lot of advice that you can get from the book, but in my opinion, it is written in a very relaxed, gentle way, that you're enjoying the story, and then you're getting all these nuggets of information. I almost compare it to animation that I have watched. You know, one of my favorite Disney movies is The Lion King. So I almost compare it to that, where you fall in love with the story, and then at the end of the movie, you have this epiphany of what life is really about. And so that's what I think makes A Dream Come True stand out, just its ability to have a storyline, but also that there's a lot of advice and timeless wisdom that's captured in the book.
Would your book be a good read for people in other types of relationships, or is it specifically for mothers and daughters?
It would be great for people in any type of relationship, just because the basis of any relationship is that trust and the ability to have an open communication. So this is just one example that a mother and daughter showcase, but you can use the principles of really having a relaxed trip that you go on, to really have that conversation, and to have the conversation in a very open forum. So to answer your question, yes, this is a book that can be applied to various relationships, even in terms of settings. I find that some of my coworkers who have read the book say that you can apply some of the things to just even working in corporate America.
Is A Dream Come True similar to anything else we may have read?
That is a great question. And as I'm thinking, I am really trying to think, is it similar to any book that I have read? I don't believe so. I'm not going to say there's not a similar book out there that does not exist, but as I'm thinking about that question, nothing really comes to mind.
Are you currently writing another book?
I am. I find myself almost in multitasker writer, where my creative juices flow when I have a lot to manage. So to answer your question, I have a few children's books that I'm working on and looking for an illustrator so I can move forward with that publishing process. And I'm also writing another spirituality book.
Where can our listeners learn more about you, about your other books, and most of all, where can we purchase A Dream Come True?
Thank you for that question. I have an amazing website developer, and my website is jeryndurner.com, JERYNTURNER.com. You can also purchase my book at any major online retail store. For those of you living in Atlanta, Georgia, my book is also available at Phoenix and Dragon. It's an amazing bookstore that is off of Roswell Road. My Instagram name is Spellman Gemini, and my Twitter name is at Jeryn Turner. I constantly post different things, and so by going to any of those different places, you can not only find out more about myself, Jeryn Turner, but also find out more about the book, A Dream Come True.
Jeryn, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today. I've read the first chapter of A Dream Come True, and I definitely want to read more. And I'm sure after listening to our conversation, it has piqued the interest of a lot of our listeners as well. When you release your next book, will you come back and chat with us again?
Yes, I would love to come back and chat with you. This has been an amazing conversation. I loved your questions. You stumped me on a few of them, but I definitely would love to come back. I think the Author Show is an amazing vehicle for authors such as myself to have an opportunity to talk not only about the book, but about themselves.
A lovely, insightful read. What I loved was that this book was deep, yet easy to read and not heavy, and the reader can make it as reflective as he or she wants. This is not just for mothers and daughters. Anyone wishing to strengthen a relationship, including the opportunity to look within. Candid, flowing, and real. I loved it, and am inspired to now visit Peru. Thank you, Ms. Turner, for writing this book. What an impressive review for A Dream Come True. Thank you for listening. This is Linda Thompson, concluding another edition of The Author Show. Please share this interview with your friends and family so that they too may have the opportunity to discover our guest and her work. And why not help spread the word on social media as well? Please join us again next time for another exciting author and another great book on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. Theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.